It's in the tells. So, this day 46, I, I'm here waiting for a woman who's going to meet me to pick something up that I have for sale. Had a conversation with her this morning. She really wants it. It's a special kind of table, and will fit in her vehicle. And I had to go out anyway, so she was at some distance. So I said, "Fine. If you can be there precisely at 3 o'clock, I will meet you." "Oh yes, I'll meet you at 2:30. "Great, sounds good." Well, here I am at 2:30, and I knew it. I knew it because she was Romanian or Croatian or something like that. There's something about that particular race, or not race, but that group of women that they're very beautiful, this, that, and the other thing, but you can wait for them. So the point I'm making is that when you're in a relationship with anybody, you have to pay attention to the little things they do, because it's indicative of larger things. If they're going to be complimentary, if they're going to be helpful. Because if they're not loyal in little things, they won't be loyal in big things. A case in point is that this woman, she was off by half an hour, and I accentuated with her. I really needed her to be here for 3, and she's clearly going to be late, because even worse than that, she sent me a message a few minutes ago saying, "Oh, is there an ATM in town?" Because she hasn't even got money, so there's another delay. But when I think about my relationships, all of them, the best ones were, and the ones that were the least trouble-free, were the ones where there was reciprocation, meaning that, I do for you, you do for me, in a way that people can. A billionaire can take his girlfriend for a ride on his yacht. All his girlfriend can do is, I don't know, rub his back or do something nice, right? And when I was with my girl, it was an interesting paradigm we had there. I did a lot of stuff for her. Partially because I can, and partially because it was my codependency saying, "Hey, love me," right? Even to the point when she first tried to break up with me, like, I'm going to say, I don't know, back in November or something. And I said to her, I said, "What are you doing? I have built this life around us as a wall of protection that shows you how much I love you. Like, what are you doing breaking up with me?" And the reality was that was the weakest stance I could have taken. But at that time, that talked her back into it. But it was pet cemetery persuasion, because I coerced her into it. And it probably made her a little angry, because later on she was basically saying that, you can't have a relationship that's based around horse trading. You do for me, I do for you. But it is important that there is reciprocation. If you point out you would like it on some level, it really should be granted. Now, an example I recently, yesterday as a matter of fact, my current girlfriend, she's got some weird living arrangement, and the bed she has right now really is terrible. And I handle furniture for a living, was able to acquire a bed as part of a set. Really didn't cost me anything. So I brought it to her. I surprised her with it, and she was quite surprised by it. Not really looking for anything, but one bone of contention I had with her is she had promised over a couple of occasions to make me her famous lasagna, which never materialized. Well, today I get the note saying, "Hey, when we get together next, I've got the lasagna." So we'll see if that continues. It's very obvious that she's done that because I did that. But it's very amusing that this instance happening right now is sort of reminding me of every instance I've had. I had a girlfriend previously. It was getting her to do anything for me. Even when it came down to the point we were talking about living together, I said, "You know what? You've either got to pay $500 or give me 20 hours a month of house cleaning," because I was not going to put up with her just existing. And any man who does that is a chump. And of course that was the end of the relationship, because so many women are just along for the ride. They figure if they give you sex, that's enough. But the reality is, sex is free and easy these days, at least for men who have got control of themselves. So it has lower value. That being said, it is higher value for me because I like high quality sex with one woman, as I had with my girl. And, well, go back and watch the other 44 chapters if you want to hear all about that. The point I'm making is that, people have a responsibility to pull their weight in some way. Even in days of yesteryear, caveman went out and brought home the meat, and the women cooked it, and looked after him, right? And he's the one who put his life on the line. They couldn't put their lives on the line, which means they had to work harder. Bottom line. So it's important when you have a relationship with anyone, just if you find yourself constantly, I have found myself in more relationships than I can count, being the one who's the contributor. I'm never going to allow that again. I'm going to nip it in the bud early. If it happens early, the relationship will be put on probation, and if it continues, the relationship will be terminated. It's just not something I'm willing to put up with anymore because I want someone to love me. I'm strong enough on my own, and I can get enough female attention that I don't have to, kiss anybody's ass over it. So if you're in a relationship like that, or if you're analyzing your relationship and you're thinking about going back to it, make sure that was a part of it. I think it was a part of it with me and my girl. Not as much necessarily as I would have liked, but everybody says a personal interpretation. Like, she would do things like pick up my kids and, make us snacks and have us over for dinner and that kind of stuff. And that was really great. I really appreciated that. Whether she was doing it with a happy heart or not, it seemed like it was at the time, but she did have two faces. I don't know. It's hard to say. But definitely when she was doing it, I felt like it felt good. But here we are now, right? Anyway, day 46. Just putting in time. Thanks, guys.